My name is Blaine Primo, and I am the Student Achievement Data Analyst for the Upper Grand District School Board. I will be providing you with an overview of the upcoming UGDSB Counts Student Census. On September 19th, the Upper Grand District School Board will be launching its UGDSB Counts Student Census. The census will be open for 3 weeks, with October 9th being the final day for students and families to be counted. All Ontario schools have been mandated to collect student identity-based demographic information. The census will be for all students from kindergarten to grade 12 to complete. The census is confidential, but it is not anonymous. Although the Upper Grand District School Board would like as many students to participate as possible, it is 100% voluntary. After the census is completed, students, parents, or legal guardians can make changes or additions to the data at any time. Students, parents, and legal guardians can also revoke consent at any point in the future, and in that instance, the data would be removed permanently and would not be included in any further analysis or reporting. We will be asking questions concerning students' Indigenous status, ethnicity, race, gender, religious, spiritual affiliation, sexual orientation, disabilities, citizenship, and socioeconomic status. Respondents can choose which questions they would like to answer. If you wish to preview the UGDSB Counts Student Census, you can find an electronic copy on our website at www.ugdsb.ca/census. The legal authorization to collect this information comes from the Anti-Racism Act as well as the Education Act. The Upper Grand District School Board will use this information to eliminate systemic racism and advance racial equity, as stated in the Anti-Racism Act. We will do so by identifying and working to eliminate any barriers to equitable student outcomes in the programs and services we offer. The results will be used to better understand the students that make up our diverse student body at Upper Grand. These understandings will be used to inform our multi-year strategic plan, programming at both the elementary and secondary levels, professional learning for staff, the allocation of resources. In kindergarten to grade 8, the Ministry of Education has made it a requirement that parents or legal guardians fill out the census with or on behalf of their child. Each parent or legal guardian will be sent a link to the census to the email address the Upper Grand District School Board has on file. This is the same email address you use as a login to access your child's report card. The board will also post a secure QR code and web link where the census can be accessed as well. In this instance, student login and password will be required in order to access the census. This will allow us to be certain of who is filling out the survey, and so we can use this information to link it to the other information we will use for analysis. In grades 9 to 12, students will be filling out the census on their own. The census will be sent directly to each student's UG Cloud email address. For our secondary students, class time will be provided for them to complete the census. Each secondary school teacher will be provided with a facilitation guide to walk their students through the census before they complete it. That way, students can make an informed choice concerning their participation in the census, and they will have advance notice of the exact questions that will be asked. For some students and their families, filling out the census electronically is not possible. If this is the case, paper copies can be made available. Please reach out to your school or the UGDSB Research Department if you require any paper copies. Parents or legal guardians of students under 18 years of age can opt out of the census in its entirety. Parents or legal guardians can do so by completing the opt-out form on the UGDSB Census website or by contacting the child's school. If an opt-out form is completed, a census will not be sent. The opt-out process will be open until September 12th of this year, but don't worry. If an opt-out form is not submitted, it is still voluntary. Respondents can simply choose not to fill out the census. In order to identify and eliminate systemic barriers, the Upper Grand District School Board will be linking the census data to other data we already collect in our student information system. This includes attendance, student achievement, credit accumulation, graduation rate, suspensions, expulsions, exclusions, special education services, and participation in academic or extracurricular programming. The research department will analyze this data by looking to see which identity-based groups are over or underrepresented in specific programs, services, and outcomes. Based on these results, we will be able to identify any barriers to equitable outcomes for our students. Privacy is of the utmost concern for the Upper Grand District School Board. In order to safeguard your data, extensive procedures and protocols have been put in place throughout the lifecycle of the data. The survey software, SurveyMonkey, has been evaluated by the Upper Grand District School Board to ensure it meets our strict security and privacy requirements. The data will only reside here temporarily. Some important security and privacy features to note are: data is stored in Canadian data centers, the data is encrypted at rest and in transit, and once the census is complete, the data will be downloaded and securely disposed of from SurveyMonkey servers. For more detailed information, please visit our website. Only select staff in the research and IT departments at Upper Grand will have access to the information, and this access will be limited based on their duties and responsibilities. For select research staff, this will involve any analysis and reporting that uses the census data. For select IT staff, this will be limited to making changes or additions to the data or removal of the data based on requests from the individuals to whom the data belongs. Personal identifying information will only be used for the purposes of linking student census data to existing student data. Once it is linked, all personally identifying information will be removed. Therefore, all analyses and reporting will be done with anonymized data. Furthermore, individual student responses will be grouped together for analysis, so no analysis or reporting will be done at the individual level. The data will be stored in password-protected databases. The databases will be separate from any existing student information systems currently in use. Although the census is 100% voluntary, it is important for UGDSB to count as many students as we can. The more students that are counted in this census, the better informed we will be about our diverse student community and their needs. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to the Research and Innovation Department at the email address shown here. Anonymous feedback, questions, or concerns can be made using the feedback form. More detailed information concerning the UGDSB Counts Student Census can be found at our website, www.ugdsb.ca/census.